Health and wellness is a loaded topic, to say the least. It's hard to know what's a passing trend and what tips we should actually listen to. So today we're sitting down with an internationally recognized intuitive MD to chat stress, finding balance, gut health, and weed wellness. All right, so first things first, what does it mean to you to be well?
To me, wellness is an internal thing. It's emotional, mental, if you want to call it spiritual, and the physical is secondary to that emotional, mental, but they all go together. So it's listening to the inner voice, taking care of yourself inside makes you well outside.
Now, do you have any tips or tricks to achieving mental health and wellness?
You know, the ones that everyone talks about, the first one everyone talks about over and over again, it's meditation. Maybe doing some yoga, exercise, dance, things you love to do is the key to mental wellness. I believe listening to your gut. Like if you actually listen to your intuition, it'll tell you go to the gym, work out for half an hour. Go and meditate, 15 minutes is all you need to do, 15, 20 minutes. Do you know what I mean? And when it comes to food, listen to your body. Your body actually has conversations with you. So you can eat emotionally and just like ice cream and chocolate every day, or you can eat intuitively what your body's craving, which might be carbs one day, but it won't be every day, right?
Now, as women, we're often told that we can be and do everything. Do you think that's a healthy ideal to strive for?
I do believe that as women, we may want everything, but I actually think we go through different stages in life. Do you know what I mean? Maybe in our early 20s, we want a career a lot. And then in our 30s and 40s, we might want family a lot. But I think you have to put what you want first as your main agenda and not try to think you've got to have it all at once, because I think that equals burnout.
So I feel like wellness, as I said, it's a trendy topic, and a new term I've heard a lot lately is gut health.
Right.
What is gut health, and why should we really focus on it and make it an important part of our lives?
Sure, so gut health is basically that your gut is well, but a lot of us don't pay attention to it, and we're seeing more gut health issues, every day. So gut health issues are things like irritable bowel syndrome, peptic ulcer disease, and so on, and it's like a huge staggering conditions nowadays. You can get into everything from the bacteria that are in there to probiotics and so on. In my world, it's all about emotions. The gut holds predominantly the emotion of fear. And the fear that's on the planet right now is huge, right? So to me, it's looking at what are we afraid of and what are we living for. They're opposite ends of the same coin. So fear and love are opposites. So you can flip every fear into love. So fear of moving, love or excitement about moving, right? So that gets stuck in your gut.
So would something like meditation help gut health then potentially?
Hugely, because the part of meditation is just to notice your thoughts. Because here's you and here's your thoughts. What meditation does is it pulls it out. Because most of us, it's like, and then after the thought comes the emotion, they're like boo, 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 right? So what meditation does, it pulls it out. And when they're pulled out, then we can have choice of the thought. And then we have choice of the emotion.
Now, another new term I've heard is mindful sweating.
Oh, right.
So what's the difference between a good old-fashioned sweat session at the gym for an hour and mindful sweating?
Sure. So mindful sweating is really big in things like Soul Cycle and certain spin classes and so on, and certain bar classes. It's being really mindful, being aware. So mindful sweating is really being aware what your intention is for the class, being really in tune with your attention is for this workout, and using that intention to take you through whatever exercise you're doing, rather than just go hammering out at the gym. It's more the intentionality and the emotion behind it.
And something I'm very interested in, weed wellness.
Right.
It's a very controversial topic. Some people are for it, some people are against it. But who would you say this is for, and what would you say to those people who do oppose it?
So weed was always something that, at least when I was growing up, the bad kids did in the back of the schoolyard, right? Never me, right? But it's interesting, they've isolated an isolate of marijuana called CBD, which is a profound anti-inflammatory and great for pain. So what I say to patients is basically, if you're dealing with a major health issue that you're not really feeling, you've exhausted the medical model, for things like chronic pain, depression, certain anxiety types, those are incredibly helpful for management, especially pain with marijuana. Even the opioid crisis, a lot of people go off of opiates onto medical cannabis, right? And even easing off of antidepressants, it can help to ease that buffer. Again, it's not something you want to do forever, but it can help a lot with pain management. So for those people who are really anti it, I would look at why we're against it. To be honest, I think a lot of us were just taught it. I had to challenge myself that too. Why am I against this? Oh, right, because in high school that was a bad thing to do. But it is a plant. And just to keep in mind for those of us who are against it, or those of you who are against it, there is a non-psychotropic effect of medical marijuana, something that doesn't make you high called CBD, which has incredible health benefits. So taking a thought that there is a part of marijuana that does not have to equal being high.
And last but not least, social media and phones.
Okay.
Huge topic. Everybody seems to have their faces buried in their phones nowadays.
Right.
So what would you say to those people who do spend a lot of time on social media, but who also want to be well?
Right. So I would look at why you do it. Okay. For a lot of people, it really is the FOMO, fear of missing out, right? Which then is driven from anxiety. If I don't know Joe, who I went to high school with 30 years ago, is dating a new girl, then something's wrong. Like, look at what that emotion is. And again, remember how I said thought, emotion, and action are so close together? So with meditation, you space that out. If most people ask themselves, why am I picking up my phone? What is the reason for social media? Why am I scrolling? For a lot of people, it's just because they can't sit and be for a minute. So you know when you go away on vacation, you go to Mexico for a week, the hardest thing is the first few days, because they're like, oh, in withdrawal, right? So challenge yourself to just sit there and see what would happen if you take 2 extra breaths before grabbing the phone. Do you know what I mean? And look at why you're doing it. Of course, it's different if you're running a business and you're posting stuff, but what people get addicted to is how many people liked it? What comments did I get? Oh my God, no one liked it. Social media defines them. And what I would say to them is you are a definition outside of that. And that's what I would look for. Who are you?
Okay, so I think we can all agree DrDivi is practically an encyclopedia, and we have barely scratched the surface when it comes to wellness. So just for you, we're popping up her contact information right here. And at the end of the day, you heard it from her, it's all about enjoying life, laughing, and taking a few minutes for yourself each day. For City Lights on Novus TV, I'm Alyssa Dawson.